What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we've got a Total War Warhammer 2 Rise of the Tomb Kings 2 versus 2 quick battle for you. Me and DahvPlays teamed up for some 2 versus 2 quick battle ladder matches, and we are facing off against the Empire and the Highelves, and we're using the Greenskins and the Skaven. Now, Dahv is the Skaven and I'm the Greenskins, and we've bought some pretty cool stuff over here. So right off the bat, I want to show you that hidden here in the forest was a group of my nasty skulkers. And so they were actually really close to this group of Zentler's Reichsguard over here. And if I'm able to catch them in the beginning of the match, that's really going to help us out. Besides that, over here on the flank, we've got 2 groups of Boar Boy Biggins, as well as one Goblin Big Boss over there on a spider. So he's able to get in there. He's a little bit faster. He'll slow things down, allow my Boar Boys to catch him. And he's definitely a good, he's able to kill, cav and stuff like that in his own right. Now you see that we've actually put our armies together. So here on the other flank, we do have another group of Nazi skulkers. And we're really just trying to catch out cav, because since we're against the Empire and the High Elves, we assumed that they would be bringing a ton of cav units like Silver Helms or, something like that, Dragon Princes, Here in the front, we've got 2 groups of gutter runners with poison for Dahv's army, as well as he's got a bunch of Skaven slave slingers in here. And just because of the sheer number of little tiny 10 damage missiles they do, over time they will be able to do some good damage with those Skaven slave slingers. They're like one of the best slave units there is. We've also got 2 lightning cannons. And those lightning cannons are they're just going to be blasting this whole match. So when you get those warp lightning cannons trained on something, they're so accurate. They've got 3 big heavy damage bursts, and they'll do some good work. Besides that, you'll see mixed in here, we've also got clan rats. There's a couple groups of clan rats. There's a couple groups of clan rats with spears here. And then we also do have some of these big rat ogres. Now these are some of my favorite Skaven units. They've definitely got all sorts of mutations, just giant rat ogres. So Dahv does have, it looks like, I think 3 groups of those. As well as over here, he's got a plague priest, with a couple of different skills there. It looks like he does have pestilent breath. He's got wither, and he's also got vermintide. So he'll be able to do some pretty good work. And for his lord, Dahv has brought on top of that ogre there, on top of the Bonebreaker, he's got just a Skaven warlord. So he looks pretty cool up on top of Bonebreaker like that. I mean, I just love that helmet. That is so cool. And just, oh man, he's ready to do some major damage. So with those rat ogres and that, that'll do pretty good. Here, right in the middle, we're kind of mixed in here. So we do have, you see, I've got Orc Biggins here in the front line. 4 groups of Orc Biggins, as well as 2 groups of Black Orcs here in the back. Then we do have my 2 regiments of renown, my trusty goblins. I always bring the Warlord's Boys for their armor sundering ability, which removes 30 armor from anything they're attacking, as well as the AP loonies, because they give poison and because they have those spinning loons, which do some pretty good damage if you get a good shot off with them. You see here from my lord, we do have Zag, and he's on his boar. He's on Spleen Rippa. He does have Effigy of the Kid. I brought Foot of Gork, Fists of Gork, and I've got Brain Burster. Besides that, I've got the Bonewood Staff. So I figure since I use these low mana spells, I use them pretty often. This Bonewood Staff should give pretty good melee attack to the to everyone on the map, as well as Squiggly Beast to keep my my Winds of Magic up there. So here for our opponents, I've already pointed out the Zentler's right guard there in the forest, and here in the back he does have another group of Empire Knights. And it looks like they have 3 Bronze Chevron in them, so they do have a little bit more increased stats there. They've got a little bit better melee defense and melee attack. Here on the other side, you'll see that there is a Tyrannok Chariot. So they do have some flanking units, but let's go ahead and take a look at the Empire army real quick. So he does have in the back here, he's got 1 group of handgunners, he's got some spearmen, and this is he's got a lot of estate troops with a ton of chevrons. So Sigmar's sons over here, pretty much always included in any good Empire army. He's got some great swords here in the front. 4 groups of great swords. These swordsmen actually have a 1 gold chevron, so they're rank 7. So he definitely is trying to sneak some extra power in here that you don't expect. This other group of spearmen guarding the silver bullets here in the back, they've also got a couple of silver chevrons, and he does have Boris Todbringer up there on top of that Imperial Eagle mount. And he also, let's see, Yeah, okay. And you know they all get that miscast chance as well. He's also got this Amber Wizard over here. And the Amber Wizard has brought Flock of Doom, Wysen's Wild Form, as well as this Power Stone. So he expects to be doing some pretty good work. But luckily for me, if he casts that Flock of Doom a lot, he'll take some good damage because of that extra miscast. Here for the High Elf army, he does have Teclis here on the front, and Teclis is on his noble steed. So Teclis, he's got all sorts of spells there. He's got, you know, it looks like he's definitely got Net of Amantok. He's got the Flock of Doom. He's got potions and Fiery Convocation. He's got all sorts of stuff. So he is ready to do some good damage there with Teclis. And he's also ready to do some good damage with these Lothar and Seaguard. He's got 4 groups of Lothar and Seaguard. So he'll be blotting out the sun with those arrows. He's got the couple groups of White Lions. And now I've been told that these White Lions are not great. But against the Skaven, they should be able to, you know, cut through lots of Skaven troops. The White Lions there, 5 groups of White Lions, and then in the back, 2 Sword Masters of Hoeth. So just take one last look at the top of the screen here, make sure we didn't miss anything. While we're zooming on over, if you look, we have 2,200 units to his 1,700. So this is going to be just an epic battle of mass proportions, and it was a little bit laggy when we played it, just because just the sheer massive units on there. It seemed like one of the guys had trouble, but you see he actually was able to get his Zintwer's Reichsguard out away from these nasty skulkers, and I was not able to catch them. At the same time, it's okay for me because I'm going to go ahead and use the Goblin Big Boss as well as these Orc Boy Biggins to get in there and catch them on that side. Over here on the left, you'll see the Teclis, and this sometimes happens to me. He's speeding ahead. He thinks he's dodging. He's going to be trying to go back and forth. He's trying to soak the fire there and use the speed of that horse to really make us miss make us miss some shots. At this point, that's doing okay. Over here on the right, we have got in here, and you see, we'll go ahead and get in here kind of close. You can see that these knights are, Varix Reavers are fighting against 2 groups of Warboys and the Goblin Big Boss. They've already taken some major damage, so that's going to be some big trouble for them. Over here on the left, you'll see that Teclis did get a little bit greedy there in the front. He just a little bit out of position, and he's had to do Potion of Troy. He's trying to replenish his hit points, but he's just taking some major damage from these gutter runners with poison, which actually slowed him down and allowed him to be able to take some hits from these big warp lightning cannons. If you look here, Teclis is broken over there on the left, and that is just a major catch for us. Over here on the right, you'll see we've pretty much got all of these Zintwer's Reichsguard down, and we've also caught these Empire Knights. Now, we've taken some good hits on our Orc Boy Biggins as well, but we've also got the nasty Skulkers in here. We've got this Goblin Big Boss, and if we can get rid of these 2 Cav units, that would be a super great for our team. Here in the back, you'll see this Amber Wizard is already at half health, so that Wurzag's Revenge getting in there and just making him miscast. I mean, he's just gonna be taking hits. Here you'll see we actually are able to start seeing these handgunners now. There's some shots going in at Boris Todbringer, but here's the big one. We actually go ahead and cast Effigy of the Gate. You see Wurzag's in here on his pig. He's on Spleen Ripper. Let's go ahead and take a look at here what's going to happen. We've got a Foot of Gork. You see there's the magic. Oh man, boom, and completely removes the silver bullets from the game. There's only 35 silver bullets left. They're broken, and they're going to be just taken right off the field with that Foot of Gork. Here for the main armies, you see they've actually started to get engaged, and our Skavens are going to start breaking. Boris is in here. He's doing some good work, but he is completely surrounded by Rat Ogres. There's also a Flock of Doom coming down over here on the right, and this is where a major part of our battle is going. We do have these Orc Biggins in here, and look at that Warp Lightning Cannon firing point blank rage at Boris Todbringer. He's just getting knocked down. He's getting charged. We've got AP Lunas coming in here, and we are going to be doing our best to get in there and do some major damage on this right side. Over here on the left, you'll see that the Highelves have also engaged, and at this point, I'm just trying to move my nasty Skulkers here in the back to try to catch on some of these Lothar and Seaguard. You can see here in the back that Dahv's got his Warlord here on that Ogre, but he's going to take some heavy shots. He was not able to do much of those Lothar and Seaguard, and on his way to escape, he's going to stay alive, but he's going to be broken and take some major damage. That's okay for us though, because those white lions of Trace have taken some major work as well. So there's not too many of those white lions left, although the sword masters are in here fighting. All of these plague priests mixed in, or biggins and those clan rats. I mean, we're doing some pretty good work over here on the left flank. Over here on the right, they're still holding pretty strong, but you see that we've got those just Rat Ogres charging into Sigmar's Sons, and everything over here is just constantly taking heat. I mean, we were able to get in the back here. We were able to get our Orc Warblades right on top of this Amber Wizard with our Goblin Big Boss, and he is going to break off almost immediately. If you look here at the balance of power, me and Dahv are starting to kind of move it in our favor, and I think it's just we had just so many catches. Oh my God! Look at there's a huge Brainburster, and that is able to actually break those handgunners as well. That's a good Brainburster. It's actually when they have their units kind of clumped up like that, and since I was able to give with the Bonewood Staff, I was able to buff all the map wide, the melee. We definitely wanted to use those spells as much as possible. Over here on the left flank, you see the nasty skulkers got into the Lothran Seaguard. A bunch of those Orc Biggins and Black Orcs were able to get into the back there. And that was finally able to rout off the last of those High Elf units. All of those ranged units took heavy damage. We have some units that are here in the back that have returned from routing, but at this point, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've managed to rout off the Amber Wizard, the Silver Bullets. I mean, just one group after another was just, you know, taken down and picked off and sent home packing. Here in the middle, you'll see just at the very end, there's a few of those Sigmar Sons, and you see there was some gobos that were taking them down, and it was just a great battle though. Me and Dahv had a blast. We had played these guys actually once before. This was the second match, and they beat us the first time. So me and Dahv hopped back on. We were trying again, and we got them, and we were able to just take the tiebreaker. And we waited around for about 15 minutes for a third battle, but they never did queue up. So if you take a look at our armies here, we've got 78 with Wurzag, and I'm sure that was from that Bigfoot Agoric was the main one, and then also a couple of those Brainbursters that was able just to wreck those Silver Bullets. You see they only got one kill, and then we were able to get the Brainburster into the back with the handgunners as well. Also, those Zintler's Reichsguard and the Empire Knights were so expensive, and to be able to take them out with the Boar Boys and still have the Boar Boys be able to get back in and do some good work was really, really helpful and cost effective. Here for my main line, you'll see these Orc Biggins. They had no trouble at all cutting down those Empire units, and I think there was a few groups over there that got into the back of some of these High Elves as well. You see these nasty Skulkers were able to do some good work. They were able to level up once on their own. We have 44 kills and 46. I mean, we got in and killed some Lothran Seaguard with one group, and the other group was killing Knights and all sorts of stuff and handgunners. The Warlord's Boys, I mean, just spread across this whole army was just tons of kills. You know, some of these Black Orcs outscored the some of these Biggins outscored the Black Orcs, which I thought was a lot of fun. The Boar Boy Biggins did pretty well, and that was super helpful. If we take a look at Dahv's army, it was these Warp Lightning Cannons that were able to do such good work. They were able to take Teclis off the field, which really hurt the High Elves, and it gave them leadership problems for the entire match. You saw that in return, though, the High Elves were able to take that Warlord, and they were able to get him in the back and do just major work to him. Luckily, he was able to escape with his life, and Dahv had, you know, plenty of leadership here with the Warlock Engineer and the Plague Priest, just in case things got a little bit hairy. Those Clan Rats mixed in with some of my troops there were actually really helpful. So the Clan Rats there, you know, besides not just the Gutter Runners with Poison, which were really harassing pretty well, the Skaven Slave Slingers the same, but the real meat and potatoes of this army was done by the Plague Priest and some of those summoned units, as well as these Rat Ogres and the Warp Lightning Cannon. I mean, the fact that he was able to take out Teclis, as well as, I mean, Boris Todbringer, I don't know if you saw, but the Warp Lightning Cannon was blasting him quite a bit. And then the Amber Wizard actually had such a hard time with those miscasts. I mean, he was supposed to be spamming Flock of Doom, but that was not going to be working to his advantage at that point. If you take a look over here, you'll see these Captain Sean with his Empire army. He really had trouble with his heroes. Dahv was able to focus one, and we were able to catch the Amber Wizard in the back, as well. Those Spearmen, even though they were leveled up really high, they were no problem for my Black Orcs and stuff like that. I mean, these state troops are really just, I mean, strong Greenskin infantry with good support will definitely cut them down pretty quickly. As well, you can see that the greatswords, although they got like 120 or 130 kills between them, the greatswords really aren't as strong as they used to be. So they really aren't, you know, they're just there to be defenders. And since we were able to take out all the big threats, we were able to take out the handgunners, silver bullets, and empire knights. These units were kind of just left stranded on their own, and they weren't going to be able to win the game. They were going to have a hard time winning their side. They were getting charged. They were getting, you know, they had magic getting cast on them. There was just huge spells coming from Dahv. That plague priest was casting wither all over the place. Over here for the high elf army, you'll see that Teclis, that was the real problem. He was trying to get in there, I think, do some fancy footwork and dodging with Teclis, but he took some major shots instead. Once he got slowed by those gutter runners, those warp lightning cannons were able to get in there and just lay the smack down. I mean, that was just such an expensive unit to lose right off the bat. Besides that, these white lines of trace, even though I said they didn't do very well, they did kill a lot of, I guess, a lot of Skaven. So it looks like a couple hundred kills split between them, 85 here on the Swordmasters. And then the Lothar and Seaguard themselves really did have trouble this match as well. I mean, we were pretty mobile. I also was able to get some nasty skulkers in. We were kind of able to push through those weak front lines once a lot of these white lines went down, and kind of tie up those Lothar and Seaguard and not give them too great of a chance. The Tyrannok Chariot also, I mean, while it was able to get in there and do some good work, these Rat Ogres and just some of these heavy armor-piercing units were able to kind of catch it, bog it down, and just really lay some waste to it. Overall, I mean, if I could suggest something to Silver Dawn, I wouldn't really bring White Lions at that point. I would just bring some Spearmen and maybe a group of Phoenix Guard or two. These White Lions, even though they have great damage, they're just so hard to make them work. As well, it's just so important when you're using Teclis just to keep them close to your army, keep them mixed in. You know, maybe if he had kept them with the chariot or anything, it would have been a little bit better off for him. Over here for the Empire army, I mean, getting caught out with those Empire Knights. I mean, once he saw what I had over there, he really should have been just backing up and you know, getting in with his main army. You really don't want to risk something so expensive as the Empire when you have, this is like going to be your main damage dealing contingent. These 4 units here. That big foot of Gork was able to wipe out the handgunners, but he still could have done you know, when you done some good work with them, done some good damage. Overall, though, it was a great game. We've got a couple more from me and Dahv's games coming soon. We just had such good battles that I really want to get them up and show them to you guys. Go ahead, and if you guys have not checked it out before, go ahead and check out DahvPlays channel on YouTube. He's you know, just a really great guy. He's also got really interesting facts, and he knows all the different stats about all the units, and it is just, you know, I watch all his videos myself personally. So, you know, guys, go check him out on YouTube, DahvPlays. And I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. I want to thank my opponents, Captain Sean and Silver Dawn. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the ladder sometime again soon. Please subscribe below for more great online content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's Battles.